So, you've been sharing with us some of your goals about really making your digital product launches smoother and more efficient.
Right.
And we dove into like all the materials you sent over.
Yeah.
We're talking like descriptions and feature lists from tools like Launch Jinnee and just a bunch of other capabilities.
Yeah.
Really interesting stuff. So the goal here is to really pull out what's important, what are the truly crucial insights from these AI-powered launch tools, and what could they mean for you?
I think that's a great way to put it. I mean, it really is fascinating to see like how AI is starting to change the whole landscape of product launches.
Yeah.
Like the core idea across a lot of these sources is how can we actually leverage artificial intelligence to tackle what can feel like just this massive, overwhelming process,
Absolutely.
and the potential there to not just save a ton of time and resources, but even discover completely new ways to approach a launch, even if you don't have like a super technical background or, tons of marketing expertise. It's really about making those sophisticated strategies feel within reach. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And for you, especially wanting to like understand things quickly, maybe have some of those aha moments along the way
For sure.
that really shift your perspective without getting bogged down in unnecessary complexity.
Yes.
This seems like the perfect area to explore.
Absolutely.
So let's kind of unpack this a little bit. If we think about the traditional way of launching a product, like what are some of the core headaches that these tools are actually trying to solve?
Well, I mean, the sources really highlight several key pain points, right?
Yeah.
So first you have to think about the sheer amount of effort involved, not just coming up with the product itself, but then like building an actual compelling offer around it.
Right.
So figuring out things like the pricing, the bonuses, all the things that are going to resonate with people. And then you got the challenge of writing persuasive copy
Yeah.
that actually gets people to take action. Then you have to develop all the marketing materials to actually get the word out.
Hmm.
And then, beyond that, so many people struggle with just having a clear roadmap, step by step.
Hmm.
What do I do first? What do I do next?
Yeah.
And it's easy to feel lost and not really sure what to do when. And I think most importantly, there's always this underlying question of, is there even a market for this thing? Like,
Yeah.
will people actually want what I'm creating?
Right.
So it's all about market validation.
It's almost like, when you have those really complicated puzzles, but there's no picture on the box, you're just like, I don't even know where to start.
Exactly. It's just a jumble of pieces.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where AI comes in.
That's where AI steps in,
Mhm.
hopefully to bring some clarity and direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So these tools, they're basically proposing that AI can be this secret weapon to streamline that whole puzzle-solving process.
Yeah.
Like from the initial, I have an idea, all the way to, okay, I've launched, and now I'm trying to scale this thing, right? And it seems like the big goal here is to make these successful launch strategies something that everyone can access, whether you're, seasoned marketer or, just starting out.
Right.
It's about moving away from just relying on your gut feeling and actually going towards something that's more data-driven and hopefully reducing that fear a lot of people have of launching.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh my God, there's so much to do.
Launch paralysis, right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Totally.
But-
Okay, so that kind of sets up the core problem really nicely.
Yeah.
So now let's actually dive into like, how do these AI tools work? What are they actually doing to solve these problems?
Okay.
What are some of the standout features that we see?
Sure.
And maybe we can look at this from the perspective of someone who's like actually planning a launch, right?
Right.
So starting with like the initial offer, the plan itself, what are we seeing there?
That's a really practical way to think about it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that initial like creation and planning phase, both Launch Jinnee and the other feature lists we looked at, they both emphasize this ability to quickly generate a complete product offer.
Okay.
So imagine, you input some basic information about your product and boom, the AI suggests like different price points, even bonus ideas that might be relevant.
Interesting.
Launch Jinnee specifically, they talk a lot about this idea of unlimited launch planning with AI guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like having this AI walk you through each step of the process.
Wow.
And this includes actually having the AI build out these detailed launch roadmaps, like outlining every phase,
Okay.
from pre-launch to post-launch. And then, of course, when you get to the actual selling process, they talk about the ability to generate entire sales funnels really quickly. And by that, I mean, things like sales pages, the email sequences that nurture those leads, even those upsells that, maximize your revenue. They even talk about creating those JV partner information pages,
Oh, wow.
which, can save you a ton of time when you're collaborating with other people. And, one thing that really stood out to me is, how you could use this to quickly iterate through different offers and launch plans.
Oh, that's interesting.
It gives you the ability to experiment without having to invest a huge amount of time.
Right. So it's not just about getting one version of everything. But you
Exactly.
can actually explore different scenarios.
Exactly. You can test, you can refine, you can do it all much faster.
That's fascinating. Okay, now, before you even have an offer like fully figured out, you need to know if there's even a market for it, right?
Right.
How do these tools help with understanding and validating that market?
So this to me is like a huge area where AI could make a massive difference.
Yeah.
Launch Jinnee, in particular, puts a lot of emphasis on these built-in market research capabilities.
Yep.
They're designed to help you find potentially profitable niches and also, validate, is there actual demand for this thing I'm thinking about?
Right.
So they have things like a niche idea explorer, which could potentially surface opportunities that you might not have even thought of
Oh, wow.
just through like your traditional ways of doing research.
Yeah.
And then they have this thing called the Market Gap Analyzer, which I think sounds super useful.
Okay.
This basically helps you find those needs within a market that aren't being fully met.
Okay.
And then to really understand who you're targeting, they have this audience avatar generator to help you build these detailed profiles of your ideal customer.
Okay.
Right. And both sets of materials we looked at suggest that AI can analyze all sorts of data, like existing market data, how your audience behaves, even competitor strategies,
Mm-hmm.
and then give you these insights that, help you tailor your offer and your messaging right from the get-go,
Oh, wow.
which I think is really powerful.
Mm.
And it makes you wonder, how quickly and comprehensively can AI actually process and synthesize all that data
Yeah.
compared to, if we were to do it manually.
Right.
It's a huge difference.
It's like having a whole team of market researchers
Exactly.
at your fingertips,
Right at your fingertip.
potentially revealing these hidden opportunities, these pockets that you never would seen otherwise.
And saving you from launching a product that nobody wants.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you've got your validated idea,
Right.
you've got a compelling offer. Now you have to actually communicate that
Yeah.
to the people who might want to buy it.
Mhm.
So how do these tools help with actually creating those marketing assets?
Yeah, so this is where the efficiency gains, I think, can be really, really significant. Both sources talk about using AI to generate these sales copy templates that are optimized for conversions.
Mm.
So we're talking about drafts for your sales pages, email sequences that are designed to like really hook people in, and even scripts for things like webinars or videos.
Mm-hmm.
They also mention pre-written ad scripts for platforms like Facebook and YouTube,
Oh, wow.
as well as social media posts that are ready to go.
Okay.
And then for that consistent follow-up and engagement, the ability to create these multi-step email campaigns automatically is like a key feature they highlight.
Mm.
And one of the sources even talks about generating video script outlines, those like key talking points,
Wow.
if you're using video for your marketing.
Right.
And I mean, the speed at which you could potentially create so much content,
Yeah.
it's really quite amazing. But also, raises that question of, okay, but what about personalization? What about that unique voice and style that you want to have in your marketing?
Right. Yeah.
Can you really achieve that if it's all generated by AI?
That's a really good point. I mean, the speed and the efficiency are super appealing,
Absolutely.
but you don't want to lose that human touch, that connection with your audience.
Right. I think what this suggests is that these tools can give you a really strong starting point,
Yeah.
but you probably still want to put your own spin on things.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so what happens once you've actually launched?
Okay.
Is AI still involved in helping you improve things?
Absolutely. So a big part of what these tools offer is focused on optimization and improvement.
Okay.
They talk about using AI to optimize your launch based on ongoing market research and how you're targeting your audience.
Uh-huh.
So imagine getting like perfect pricing recommendations based on what's happening in the market right now,
Okay.
or having the AI suggest ways to make your sales funnel even better by like adding upsells, downsells, and cross-sells at those like strategic points.
Right.
But most importantly, they talk about post-launch analysis, right? So you can figure out where you might be falling short and actually get some actionable insights for your next launch. One of the sources even specifically mentioned a pricing and split test optimizer, which I thought was really cool.
Wow.
So it's like you can constantly refine your pricing and your marketing based on data.
Right.
So it's not just about getting you to the launch date. It's about helping you learn and adapt for better results down the road.
It's a continuous process.
Exactly.
Okay, so we also talked about features related to growth and scaling.
Right.
So how does AI actually play into that, like expanding your reach and increasing your revenue?
Yeah. So here's where the vision gets even bigger. It's not just about launching one product. It's about building a whole business.
Right.
These tools, they talk about supporting multiple revenue streams, whether it's through additional digital products, membership programs, or even SaaS offerings.
Okay.
And they have tools specifically for that. Like they mentioned a membership continuity model planner
Yeah.
to help you establish those recurring revenue streams.
Yeah.
Right. And then to increase that average customer value, they offer tools to build out those upsells and cross-sells. And if you want to, really tap into the power of partnerships, they have an affiliate and partner outreach manager, which can even automate those initial outreach emails.
Oh, wow.
Right. And then building customer loyalty and referral systems, that's also something they emphasize.
Okay.
And for the long term, they talk about this scaling roadmap generator that analyzes like all your key metrics and then gives you this data-backed plan for growth.
Oh, okay.
And some even hint at an international market explorer to help you, take your product global.
Oh, wow.
So it really paints this picture of AI as like the strategic advisor for the entire journey.
It's like having an AI consultant in your back pocket, guiding you through every stage of the process.
Exactly.
It sounds incredibly comprehensive. And it's not just all this abstract tech, right?
Right.
There's also a focus on practical support and guidance, it seems.
Absolutely. The people behind these tools, they seem to get that, technology is only useful if you can actually use it.
Right.
So they talk about things like cloud hosting and really straightforward setup processes to make it as easy as possible. They include step-by-step launch roadmaps so you have a clear path to follow.
Okay.
Some even have what they call a virtual launch coach that provides ongoing guidance, every step of the way.
Oh, wow.
And then they have more practical things like launch calendar maker so you can visualize your timeline. They have launch timeline tracker so you can see if you're on track.
Okay.
They have a resource allocator, which helps you plan what you need for each task.
Wow.
And even a risk and contingency planner to help you, think about potential challenges and how to handle them.
That's incredible.
So they really are trying to, make this powerful AI accessible to everyone.
Yeah. It's like they've really thought of every possible thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive the level of detail they've considered.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. One thing that stood out to me, especially in the Launch Jinnee materials, was their emphasis on the offer itself.
Oh, yeah.
They really make the case that, yes, having a great product is important, but it's the offer, the complete package you present, that really drives sales. So how do these tools specifically help you craft that compelling offer?
Yeah, that's a really important point. And it's great that they address it head on.
Yeah.
So features like the AI-powered offer creation and the offer builder, these aren't just about, listing out your product's features. They're about helping you build a value proposition that really resonates with your target audience.
Okay.
So this includes things like suggesting the right mix of your core product, any relevant bonuses, and a pricing strategy that makes sense. Right, both for you and for your customers. And it looks like they actually analyze what's worked in similar niches and then give you recommendations based on data.
Wow.
So it's not just, hey, I have a product. It's about creating an experience that people want to be a part of.
It's about the whole package.
Exactly.
That's really interesting. Okay, so we've explored all these different features and capabilities.
We have.
The sources you shared also included some pretty big claims.
Oh, yeah.
Some really interesting statistics about the benefits of using these AI tools.
I'm sure.
So what are some of the numbers that they highlight?
Well, there's some pretty bold claims being made. One source says that businesses using a structured launch strategy can see up to 3 times higher conversion rates.
Wow.
Compared to those who don't.
That's huge.
Right. And then another statistic suggested that something like 80% of failed launches could have been avoided with proper market research.
Oh, wow.
which of course these AI tools aim to help with.
Yeah.
They also say that AI-driven marketing tools can boost ad effectiveness by over 50%.
Okay.
And then, of course, you had that very catchy six-figure launch shortcut claim,
Hmm.
which suggests, you can get to serious revenue much faster.
Yeah.
And then they also talk about the possibility of having a professional launch on a budget, implying that you can, maybe skip hiring expensive marketing agencies or consultants.
Right.
And the big overarching promise is rapid digital product sales.
Right.
So yeah, they definitely throw some impressive numbers out there.
Those are some pretty attention-grabbing figures.
Yes.
I mean, it's important to remember these are projections, right?
Of
And
course.
claims made by the people who develop these tools.
Right.
But they do suggest that, if the technology delivers on its promises, there's potential for
Yeah.
really big improvements in how efficient and effective you can be.
Absolutely. I think that's the key. It's potential, right? We're still in the early stages, but it's exciting to see what might be possible.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we kind of bring all this together, what would you say are the key takeaways for someone like you who's, looking for better, smarter ways to launch these digital products?
I think the main takeaway is that these AI tools are really trying to make launching digital products less scary and more accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
They offer this potential shortcut,
Mm-hmm.
not in the sense of, skipping steps or doing less work,
Right.
but in the sense of streamlining all those things that are essential for success, like strategic planning, market research, content creation, ongoing optimization.
Right.
You know, the value here is really in combining those data-driven insights, so
Yeah.
you can really understand your market, your audience,
Yeah.
and then automate a lot of those tasks that take forever to do manually.
Right.
Ultimately, it's about removing those common roadblocks that trip people up
Right.
when they're trying to launch their
Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
It's about making the whole process smoother and more likely to succeed.
Absolutely. So, I mean, considering everything we've discussed, it seems like there's a real opportunity here to use AI to really streamline and enhance your digital product launches.
100%. It's about taking a more informed approach, a more automated approach,
Hmm.
and hopefully making the whole process a lot less stressful and unpredictable.
Absolutely. And, that leads us to our final point to ponder here.
Okay.
Given everything we talked about, all these features,
Yeah.
from validating that initial idea to those post-launch scaling strategies, how might using AI not only save you time and money, but also free up your mental space
Right.
for more creativity, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it allows you to experiment with more innovative ideas, build deeper connections with your customers, knowing that, all the nuts and bolts of the launch are being taken care of.
Yeah.
It's not just about doing things faster, it's about what else you can do with that freed up time and energy.
Exactly. I think you're spot on. It's about shifting from just the tactical execution to the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
The strategic thinking that really moves your business forward.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with me. I think we've uncovered some really great insights here.
It's been a pleasure. I always love exploring these new possibilities with you.
And for you, our listener, we hope this has given you a much clearer understanding of what these AI-powered launch tools offer and how they might fit into your plans.
Definitely.
We encourage you to explore this further, to really consider how AI could change the game for your next launch.
It's a whole new world out there.
It really is. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.